In this video, I'm going to show you how to register your business the smart way, how to file for the cheapest amount possible and avoid those unnecessary upsells, get a registered agent for much cheaper than these services charge, and even handle all the compliance docs and filings yourself for free. And you'll be surprised how stress-free and simple it is to actually do yourself. The cheapest way to file your business. Now, you may have seen all the different ads for all of the different services that there are to file for you. And depending on what state that you're filing in, this should be really the only time that you will use those big services. Each state will have their own different filing website. You could look up your state's filing process, and if they have their own dashboard and make sure it's a .gov website, it should only cost you the state filing fees, and that is a fee that you can't avoid no matter what. But of course, some states are dated and have really crappy filing systems. And that's where you could actually go to some of these big name services. And when you search them up, you'll actually see their introductory offer, which is $0 plus state filing fees. So you could just go through on those websites and don't buy anything else. Just get that. They might upgrade you and tell you have to do all this compliance stuff. And what they're really selling you is just convenience. And that convenience is going to really only take you an hour for something that they're going to charge you hundreds of dollars for. So just get the base LLC, click no on every single upsell. And once you have your LLC information, we could go ahead and go to the next step. Avoiding upsells. Now, I know I literally just said this, but I want to emphasize it. These websites are pretty predatory. They will make you feel like you are going to go to jail if you don't buy these upsells that do all this compliance for you. And that's just really wrong. You have time after you file the LLC to actually do everything that is compliant, which one of the main things, it will be a registered agent. If you're filing in the state that you live in, you could literally just put yourself and your own address down as your registered agent. And in some states, you don't even have to have a registered agent because you're living in the state and you just have yourself as the owner. But if you're filing in a state that you don't live in, you are legally required in every single state to have a registered agent with an address in that state. So I'll go over that a little bit more in the next step. But also there will be compliance doc and yearly filings that all these services will try to sell you for a recurring model. And they are far more expensive than they need to be. If you just look up the Secretary of State LLC filing for your state, you will be able to find all of the compliance documents that you need to submit, most of them being entirely for free. That'll include things like the actual EIN filing, which usually is included for free with the big name services. And it'll even give you just a checklist of everything else that you may need. So make sure to utilize the government state filing ones because your taxes go towards that, so you might as well benefit from the old taxes that you've paid. All right, let's go to the next one. Registered agents. This right here is actually the whole reason why I ended up researching everything for this and ultimately making this video. With one of the big name services, I won't say which one, they were charging me $200 a year for a registered agent. And I was thinking, this is just utterly ridiculous. They really, all they do is have a mail forwarding service at a UPS street address location. And once I did a little bit of digging, I found that the big name service was actually outsourcing to a smaller service that charged only $40 a year to do this. And the best part is you could go straight with them. For example, in my case, I registered my LLC in Wyoming, and literally the website is wyomingregisteredagents.com, and they charge $40 a year as compared to $200 a year with the big name registration company I was with. And the funniest part is when I switched over to them and I got my updated registered agent information, I had to triple check that it was updated because it was literally the same exact information, the same street address and the same suite, obviously in the same city and state, and the same name on the agent. So for the last couple years, I was overpaying $160 every year, and now I am saving that money. So just whatever state that you're filing in, literally just search up registered agent in state and click around. Ignore any of the big names that you recognize. Just go for the names that you don't really recognize. Of course, make sure that they have good reviews on Trustpilot and that they're reputable. and just go with them. And they might have upsell services for you, but all that you really need is the registered agent. All right, on to the next one. Compliance and filings for free. Now, this is something that all the registration companies try to hide from you, and they want you to think that this is far more difficult than it actually is. Literally, the irs.gov website has all of the documents that you need, with autofill even, that you could just have access to for free, except for, of course, the state filing fees and whatever. And while a few years ago, the IRS website was really clunky, and frankly, it was a piece of shit, but now it's fully functional, and they've done a great job of actually walking you through the steps and making it nice and easy for you. So really just utilize that to the full extent. Now, of course, depending on how you actually route your income, if you're the only member in the LLC, there will be a little bit of nuance on how you have to file it. And I'm not a CPA or professional at this, so you'll have to click around a little bit on the website to see exactly how you have to file it, but it will answer the questions for you. It'll give you a multiple choice questionnaire, and then it'll tell you which forms that you have to fill out. It's just as simple as that. You do not have to pay all of these expensive services to do this for you, because this is really what they're doing. They're paying somebody in the Philippines $3 an hour and charging you hundreds and hundreds of dollars to do this, and it's very simple. And especially early on, a couple $100 that you could spend on ads instead for your business is going to be a big difference. You literally just utilize all the free state resources that you have. Well, they're not free, your taxes pay for them, so use them. So really, instead of spending $500 or more for a business in a box scenario, you could just do it for yourself for just really state filing fees. That's a fee that you can't avoid regardless. So that's literally the cheapest way possible to do it. All it takes is just a few hours of your time at most. Starting a business is already expensive enough without having to be price gouged for all of these services that are really cheap and easy to do yourself. Just don't waste your money where you don't need to. So if you found this video helpful, just drop your social security number in the comments or subscribe. Up to you, I'm cool with whatever one.